Motherhood is challenging and rewarding, and it's time we discuss the truth about motherhood, our own feelings and desires, why we mom shame, and how we can start standing together. Motherhood is a lifetime of different phases, all while we are expected to manage the weight of life. It's time for us moms to not only help each other by giving a hand, but push each other to explore ourselves on our deepest levels. Welcome to the Mom Still Standing podcast. I'm your mom friend and host, Danielle Lewis. Each week, we will chat with a beautiful mom who is navigating motherhood and life in a special way. My goal, moms, is for us to understand we are more alike than we are different and that we shouldn't mom alone. So join us as we celebrate and honor motherhood. Now go grab your favorite beverage and let's dive in. Hey, mom friends. Welcome back to the Mom Still Standing podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Lewis, and I'm so glad to be here with you on this beautiful Friday. It is sunny skies here in North Carolina, and I am so grateful for that. But with me today, I have Mickaela Gonzalez, and she is a mom of 3 children. She's a burn survivor. She is a life coach and a speaker, and she's also the founder of a women's empowerment group called Women on Fire, which is a nonprofit. So I'd like to welcome to our show, Mickaela Gonzalez.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it, Danielle.
Thank you for being here and being willing to share your story. So I'm just going to jump right in. So 2 years ago, this past March, that was your 2-year anniversary, you were caught on fire, like literally caught on fire due to a grease fire. And you had 36% of your body had 3rd-degree burns. And that's a lot.
It is.
Woo! And those burns were on your face and on your chest and your upper body. And so tell us a little bit about that day and this fire.
So it was a normal day playing with my children, my sister, my best friend, and we were all outside playing, and I just turn around and I see black smoke everywhere. So I run in. My natural instinct was to run in and see what was going on. I seen it was a grease fire in the kitchen, and then as I was trying to put it out, it flamed on me. I just stood there. It happened literally so fast, but I just stood there and I didn't know what to do. My body went into complete shock. And as soon as it happened, I can feel my chest falling off. I could feel it bubbling up and falling off. And then I just went outside and I told everyone to hide my kids. And I got on my knees and that was it. And I had to wait for the ambulance to come.
Oh my gosh. Like my heart just shuddered. Like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine that. So you got on your knees, like, you know how they say stop, drop, and roll. Is that what you were thinking or?
No, I was at my weakest, and at my weakest, I'm on my knees. You know, that's how I see life. I took a moment and just prayed because I literally felt like I was dying. So that was my 1 to 2 minutes of just, God, don't know what's next, but here I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when things like that happen, it's trauma. So your body automatically goes into shock. So I had to wait for the ambulance to come. I was not really responsive. All they kept saying was, hey, we're going to put you in a medical induced coma. We're going to put you in a medical induced coma. And all I've ever heard is people not coming out of comas, especially medical induced comas. So I was like, no. He was like, if you can't talk, we have to. So I just said Jace Joel. And at the time I only had 2 kids. And that's all I kept saying. I said, Jace Joel. Like that was all I could think about as being a mom still. I was like, Jace Joel. And he was like, are those your sons? And I said, yes. And then that's it. And then I remember being at Tampa General Hospital. And it's really weird when you get caught on fire. They do not, it's an emergency, but it's not an emergency. It's really weird. They can't do anything until they assess how much nerve damage. So they just make you sit there until they see where all the burns are, what degree burns have occurred, and then can you feel it? So I had to kind of wait for all that to happen while in pain, just screaming, crying, like, help me, somebody, anybody. And I had to literally just sit there and wait, which was crazy to me. But looking back on it now, they were doing, their procedure. Then after that, was the process of everything, which would change my life. Skin grafts, they removed all my skin off that was burnt. It's just called a skin scrub. So twice a day, I was getting skin scrubbed. They're not allowed to give you medication because then again, that goes into nerve damage. So if I have medication that helps with my pain, they don't know what I can and can't feel and where I can and can't feel it. So I was up unmedicated through every single skin scrub. Yep. And then the next day, after they assessed everything, they went ahead and took me into surgery and they took the skin off of my right leg and put it on my right arm. My right arm has the most damage, wasn't able to heal properly. So they had to put the skin from my leg onto my arm to give me a new arm, basically.
And so you just had the one skin graft.
Yes.
Okay.
From my whole thigh, from all around. They took it's like it's like 0.3 centimeters of skin. And it's kind of weird, like how you skin a chicken or you skin a pig. That's what they do. And then they take those pieces of skin and they stitch it on top of whatever open tissues there are.
It just seems like it was such an immense amount of pain. And I'm not sure, like, seeing you here now is like, it had to be God that really helped you to endure that.
Absolutely. 110%. Still looking back to this day, I'm kind of like, how? Like, how did I? Because the numbers are very low for burn survivors because if it's not your skin, it's the black smoke in your lungs. We don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So I was just praying because they can't measure that. There's no x-ray that can tell you that. There's no anything that can tell you how much smoke actually got in your lungs. So I could be looking great with my skin grafts, but my lungs can be doing something completely different. So of course they make you do like the breathalyzer and things like that. But it was traumatic. My family came and they started covering up the mirrors. Prior to this, I was like that model image, things like that. So my face was everything to me. And I guess you could say I didn't have a face. It was nothing but just white meat. And my lips were huge because my lips had got caught on fire. So they were swollen. And my eyes got caught on fire. So they were teeny tiny. Even my hairline around my whole head was burnt. Yep. So I've seen everyone rush in and they started getting like the hospital paper towels and the nurse gave tape and everyone literally taped every mirror around me, anything that had a reflection. And I'm looking at everyone. I said, what are you doing? And they're like, we don't want you to see. And I was like, no, I need to see, like it's not going to change. If I can't hide my face from myself forever. So there's no need to do that. So that part was definitely tough.
When was the first time that you actually, from the actual fire, when was the first time you actually looked into a mirror?
As soon as it happened, when I was in the hospital and they started doing within the first 24 hours and they started posting up the blockage of mirrors, I took my phone out immediately and I put it on selfie mode and I looked at myself immediately.
And what was that like?
Oh, you gave me emotional. It was scary.
Take your time.
You got me today, but it was, I kind of felt like let down, but it was what I had to deal with. So it just was a new challenge for me. Of course, I didn't like what I seen, but that was my new reality. So I just prayed that I got my normal face back throughout time.
Hmm. It seems like you have had to have so much courage along this journey because your self, as you knew it when you looked in the mirror prior to this, was totally distorted. It was like you had a new face,
Mm-hmm.
and even that face that you had at that moment is not the face that you have now because
Right.
healing has happened.
Right.
But as women, and I don't even think it's vain, we know what vanity is, but I think I just can't imagine just looking and seeing myself like that. And you posted some pictures on Instagram and it wasn't pretty. It was
Right.
difficult. So,
Mm-hmm.
you have one part of it where physically your body's going through this, but then mentally and emotionally, how did you manage to get through that part? Like knowing that your physical aspect has totally been distorted because of this fire. Like, how did you get through that? Did you have counseling? Like, what was that like?
So the hospital automatically gives you a therapist. There's no way, unless someone, and if there is someone out there that can get through this without therapists, I need to see them. But they automatically give you a therapist because now you're trauma. So I do have PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD. We did music therapy, things like that. The mental part was really tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was like two sides of me. One side was like, oh my God, I'm so happy I came to this. Thank you, God. And the other side was like, well, what did I deserve to have to even go to this in the first place? Like, why me? That type thing. But ultimately, it's like my kids, they pushed me a lot to get my mental together because normally you stay in the hospital for a month. I stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. I hate hospitals. I couldn't do hospitals. So I did everything in my power to heal quickly, to learn how to walk again, to learn how to talk again, and to learn how to use my limbs so I can leave. The scary part was honestly going outside. Every time I would go outside, I have a panic attack. And it's not so much like outside, like you step in your front yard, like the therapist would test me and we would go to the hospital cafeteria. We would go here and we're human. It's natural. People are looking. Some look because they're scared. Some look because they want to know. Some look because they're nosy. Who knows why they're looking, but everyone is going to look. So as soon as everyone just started looking, I would just be like, my heart would start beating fast. I would have like an anxiety attack and I have to go. I'd have to go back in. Then it's like, when I got out of the hospital, there was no more comfort zone. I stayed with family for like a week, but then it was like back to the real world. I still didn't have my face back. I was ace bandaged up, bloody, Silvadine creams, everything. But again, I still need to go to the grocery store. Grocery store trips nowadays, you go in, you go out, it's something simple. No, grocery store shops were a whole different ball game mentally. Like I had to get out my car, figure out how to get out my car. I had to figure out how to get a child, 2 children.
And how old were they at the time?
3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had to get in a cart, the motor carts. I had to then teach my son how to stand on top of different things and get what mommy needs and read pricings and go here. It was just mentally. And then people would look and look and look and look. And when I would go with family, they would speak up and be like, hi, how are you? Like the pleasant way of saying, we see you looking,
right.
Hi, how are you? The type thing. So it was really, really tough. I'll actually send you the picture, but it was one time I still didn't have any skin, like my skin coloration wasn't back yet, but I went and got my hair done. And I thought that was like, I was going to be hot stuff, because my hair was super long and with my arm not being mobile, I wasn't able to even brush my hair. So I did like a cute little bob and I was like, yes, and I think it was that's when I kind of started getting a little bit more confidence and relationships are being mended. The man I'm with now, my fiance, the father of my children as well, he came and he stepped right in and helped me. And he was always going to say, like, I don't care what you look like and they shouldn't care what you look like. Your heart says something different. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it didn't take till about 6 months to a year, honestly, for me to gain that confidence. But me starting my nonprofit was a way to fix my mental and gain my confidence because I knew that it happened for a reason and it was purposeful for it. And now I just need to let other women know that their pain has purpose too. So how about we all talk about it? I'm giving you guys bare skin. Literally, I am vulnerable to everyone. Literally, I need you to be vulnerable with me and let's figure out how we can make each other better. So that honestly helped my mental a lot too. And just having something to do, something that I knew had a purpose, it definitely helped me not go to the other side. I did refuse medicine. I don't feel like I did not want to take medicine, still don't. So that's why I always try to make sure I'm doing something positive all the time.
So let's talk a little bit about that because you went from not being able to feed yourself, not being able to walk, could barely talk, stayed in the hospital 2 weeks, come home, You're with family for about a week, but then you have a 2 and a 3-year-old that you need to take care of.
Yes.
And you said, you began to rebuild a relationship with their dad, and, he was helpful, but children always want their mommy.
Oh,
They
definitely.
want their mommy. So
Mhm.
I'm just thinking, like, even though he's there, I'm like, and then the fact that took a really a holistic approach to your healing and your recovery,
Yes.
which, like you said, you opted out of medication. How in the world did you manage your pain? Uh,
I think it was like, I don't know. I think God puts like a mini superpower in the back of like mom's brains, and it only like turns on when you absolutely need it, and I absolutely needed it. My kids were actually wonderful kids, I can't even lie. They always have been, and we've always had a very, very, very close relationship. So it was more so me explaining it to them, like, mommy just needs you to help me a little bit more, without putting the whole world on a 3-year-old's back, but to just say, hey, mommy needs your help, like, can you please help me. It was tough, but I did all natural, like, herbs. I studied Dr. Sebi before I even got caught on fire, so that was even easier for me to heal, like with my skin at least, because I was already like basically a vegan. I had no meat, no anything, which was confusing with the doctors because they want to pump chicken into you for protein to build back your skin. I didn't eat meat. So no, you can't do that. So it's nothing but protein shakes. Ironically, they didn't have to do skin graft on my chest, but they put something called pig skin on my chest, and the doctors thought that was hilarious. But
so
the
wait, so
holistic.
that was actually pig skin, like for real?
Hmm. So some people use tilapia. So you'll see some people who are burn survivors, they have like, it looks like scales on their arms or wherever it was. And then other places use pigskin. So it was like a layer of pigskin they put, and when your real skin starts coming up, it pushes the pigskin off. So that's all it was.
Okay.
But
And then you did music therapy,
music.
meditation, and prayer.
Yep. Yep. Prayer for sure, for sure. Clean diet, and just I had like a team. So their father, we weren't together at the time, but he would come and he would do like his shift with my bandages and things like that. And then my best friend, she would come and do her bandages, her shift. I'm a very independent person. I have that drive. If I want to get it done, I'm going to get it done. 3 kids, 2 kids, 11 kids, I'm going to get it done. So I just had to change my mindset. And that was another thing that I really couldn't fall into a deep depression. And honestly, it wasn't until I'm laying down and my kids are asleep where I would start thinking those thoughts. In the middle of the day, I don't even care that I don't have a face right now. My kids love me, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. And I explain it to them like, hey, you know how a snake sheds its skin? I was like, mommy's old skin came off and I'm gonna have new, better skin that's gonna come back. And they would look at me and they was like, oh, okay. And they asked no more questions about it. And that was it. And they ran with it. And then we went over the procedures of how to handle fires, who to call, what to do. And that was it. And they were the best little boys ever. Rambunctious still. I would be outside. I'm not allowed to be under the sun. So I would have either umbrella or sit in the shade, and I'd still let them play. And that honestly helped my healing a lot, was still being able to be their mom with not too many restrictions. Of course, some restrictions, but not much restrictions.
So shortly after the fire, you got pregnant with your daughter.
Hmm.
And so you were already battling PTSD, and now postpartum depression hits. And you described that time as very fearful and very dangerous.
Yeah. I think that was like the ultimate test of like my faith and my abilities, my circle, who I kept around me, because it was like every little thing affected me. I had really bad postpartum with my first son. My second son, not so much, but baby girl, it was rough because women don't like to talk about it, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? And the thoughts are crazy, and
Talk
your
about
mind
it. I want you to talk about it.
is. Yeah. So it was crazy thoughts, like I didn't want her,
Mm.
like I can't do it. Like, why lock myself in a room? same clothes for at least 2 days. It was just like, I can't do this right now. I just can't. I can't. I knew the postpartum, which is crazy. I knew it was going to be bad just because the PTSD. So I tried to take like preliminary precautions. So I did a water birth, still holistic. I tried to stay on that holistic thing. So I did the water birth. I feel like that helped a lot. With her, I ended up with mastitis. That pushed me away from her even more.
What's mastitis?
So I only breastfeed my children except for her. I ended up getting a very bad breast infection. All my milk ducts were backed up. You basically get flu-like symptoms. You feel like you're dying. So I had the shakes, the chills. I was throwing up. Everything you can name, it was happening. And they kept telling me to have her latch on. That was hard for me to do because I'm trying to first build a relationship with her as my daughter. Then I'm in pain. And the only way to try to get rid of the pain is for her to latch on and put me in more pain to possibly get rid of pain. It was tough. She was my only baby who did not latch. So that made me feel a certain type of way too. Like, oh my goodness, do I still know how to be a mom? Am I still good at this thing? Because she's the biggest gap. The boys are only a year apart, but it was a little bit of time in between her. So I was like, oh my goodness, do I not know? Like, do I not have my touch anymore? Like, what's going on? And then I'm coming from being a boy mom to being a girl mom. I don't know how to do hair. Yeah, I'm a girl, but I don't know how to do hair. I don't know how to do hair. I don't know how to be that like lovey-dovey, emotional kind of mom. It's a boy thing. He loves up on me. I love you, I love you, I love you, mom. Okay, great. And he goes and plays with trucks, you know? He does something wrong, and I'm like, hey, don't do that again. With a little girl, I say, hey, don't do that again. And she's like, so
All
it's
these emotions.
too many, so that was another thing too. But I love my daughter to death, and she's literally just like me. So it's kind of weird to see a little version of yourself, and she's so spicy. And I tell everyone now she's only like 1.5. I said, but she knows what she wants in life. Like she's very, very independent. She is this is what I say, this is what I'm going to get, and this is how I'm going to get it. And I tell everyone now to say, I admire her for that because I feel like now the tables are turning. In the beginning, I didn't know what to do when I was struggling with postpartum and I was struggling with the PTSD. Now it's complete opposite. She's teaching me things, and I'm admiring her strength the whole time. She's probably admiring me like, hey, mom, I know I'm a little baby and I'm not making this easy for you right now. Now it's opposite. Like I admire everything she does. And in a weird way, I look up to her, and I always tell everyone, I was like, she's going to be further than I ever have been in life just because of how she is and how she has helped me heal. Because at one point, that's all, it was just me and her. This may sound weird, but I ate my placenta. I got it like capsuled. They say that's good for your postpartum too. So I got my placenta capsuled and I took it. And I feel like it did kind of help with the postpartum symptoms. They started going down slowly. I wouldn't be so tired as much. I wouldn't be so emotional, either angry or sad. I was starting to get in the groove of things. And
Wait a minute. You ate your placenta, but how did that like I don't understand that. So cuz you had your child, your
mhm,
baby. So
mhm.
did you already
So they
planned
took it.
that? Okay.
They took the placenta when she came out. So water births are a little bit different, but I love it. Recommend that to any of the moms out there. But once I push her out the water, I then lay in the bed in the birthing center and then I start pushing out the placenta. And then they take it from me, they put it in a bag. And then a lady within about a week or two, she'll contact you and say, hey, I have your placenta. And they put it in capsules for you. And you kind of take it like a multivitamin because it's so
Oh.
much nutrition in the placenta. That's what I was giving her through my body. So I would take the placenta and it helps with getting your body back normal, regulating the bleeding after birth, regulating your mental after birth. So it definitely, definitely helped a lot.
Okay, that's definitely news to my ears. Uh, so, just touching on the postpartum depression a little more, you told me that in that space, you had, like, when you're in that space, a mom has nothing together. It's like, it seems like everything is wrong.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, what would be your message to moms that have recently given birth and are experiencing postpartum depression?
I have tons. you're okay. I promise you are okay. And what you're feeling now is okay. And if you feel like you can't take it anymore, as independent as we want to be as moms and as strong as we want to be as moms, have someone intervene and help you to take that load off of you. I feel like that's very imperative. It's when the world really weighs us down, and it could be the tiniest little thing can make you explode. So to prevent that, just take that time to yourself, have someone come help you, still go have your mom, even if you had a newborn and you need a mommy day, go have a mommy day. There's nothing wrong with that. There is not a book that says, oh my God, she just had a baby 2 weeks ago and she is out by herself right now. It's okay. That's normal. Postpartum is normal. I don't like that society makes it seem like women are crazy, because you're not crazy. You just need a little bit of help and a little bit more time.
What
So
would
I
you
would,
say about like the thoughts? Because I commend you for saying that, during that time you felt like you didn't want your daughter, that you didn't
Mhm.
attach to her. What
Yeah, I
would you
didn't feel
say
that
about
connection automatically. I just didn't. The water birth was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. And I felt the connection of being her mom, but I did not feel a connection with her until I started getting in the groove and my body started kind of going back to normal. Those thoughts, it's like, I would tell moms, yes, they're your thoughts, but they're not really your thoughts. It's an alternative mind because of the hormones and the chemicals that are going on in your body. So that's not really like what you're going to think every day for the rest of your life. It's just in that moment, that's what you're going to think. And those thoughts are okay. And if you feel like those thoughts are scary, have someone intervene, just so those thoughts don't become actions or anything may happen. I'm always for having people intervene. And I always tell any of the women I work with, know when to say when. So if this is your win, like it's now, it's time, say that so everyone then can jump in. And if you don't have a support system, I advise any woman and mom out there to find a partner, a church, a a women empowerment group, and build that sisterhood while you're pregnant or right after, just so you at least have that one person you can call and just even cry, scream, yell, and then get back to your normal life, because the endorphins will go down and you'll be like, oh my God, why did I even think that? Like, this girl's absolutely amazing. And then
it?
you're perfectly fine.
But you had a double whammy. Like, you're
Yep.
dealing with PTSD, dealing with still healing physically from
Right.
your burns, and then dealing with postpartum depression. So you are like the mom. You are the ideal. You're the poster child for my podcast. You are the mom still standing.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
You know,
I'm not going to say it's easy, but I am going to say it was worth it, for sure, because that pain and then the purpose after that,
Mhm.
amazing.
Right, because you had said that you found your purpose in the most painful thing you'd been through, which was the fire.
Yeah,
And it was like the fire at one point in time had squenched your confidence, but it also gave you a tremendous amount of faith that you had not had before, and
absolutely.
then ultimately led you to your life purpose.
Yes.
And so let's talk about Woman on Fire, your nonprofit.
So my nonprofit, we are 501c3 based out of Tampa, Florida. My slogan is light the fire your heart desires. So many times as women, you think you have to just be a mom, or you have to be a nurse, a caretaker, a giver, a teacher, whatever society says you need to be. But ultimately, you can be literally whatever you put your mind to. And if you just want to be thebomb.com, an amazing woman, you can be that. You don't have to be anything else. You don't have to have your own business. You don't have to be a mom. You don't have to be a nurse, a doctor, a wife. Just be who you authentically want to be. So that's basically what my group does. We empower women. We also help in the community. I do a lot of community outreach. We also do financial literacy courses, resume writing, things like that, just so women don't feel like you can't gain those skills because of your current titles. You can always venture out and just do different things, try different things, and build yourself up again. That's really, really important to me, because when I was at my lowest, I wish I had a group of women around me who were like, no, this is amazing. I love, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't have that. So I made sure I was that for myself and that for others. We are looking for any kind of sponsors or any companies or donations. You can go on our website, womenonfireinc.com. There's a donate button on there. But yeah, that's my women's empowerment group. And it gives me so much hope because anytime me and these women get together, we have something called Flame Friday. So that happens usually once a month where we all come together and we do something. And sometimes we're laughing and kikiing, and other times we are like vulnerable. We are breaking down walls. We're crying. We're hugging. We're kumbaya. And I love it. It literally like drives me because it's like, all right, that's it. Where you're at right now in that vulnerable state. How do you feel? And what are you going to do to bring her out more? Because a lot of women think we have to be tough, you have to be hard, you have to be independent. That's not the case. You are your strongest when you're most vulnerable. Because when you're most vulnerable, no one can tell you anything else about you because you're already at your weakest. So no one can say or try to bring you down weaker because you're already there. And that's where I tell women to live at. Live in your vulnerability because there's a fire right there. That's your soul part of, that's like the core flame. And then what are we going to do to engulf it even more? So that's usually what I tell
Live
them.
in your vulnerability.
Yes.
Ooh, easier said than done, but I get it.
Yes. It's tough, but it's worth it.
So it's obvious that this fire was supposed to happen. Like it was God's
Yes.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
And because of it, you were able to birth this nonprofit.
Yes.
But what did it look like in the beginning stages? Like when you were, I heard you say before that one of the things you did to kind of help your healing and your mindset was that you started helping other people and giving.
Mm-hmm.
So was that the beginning kind of the birth
So
of
in the
Women on
beginning,
Fire?
it was an idea that I had, and I would always like say, hey, let's go to the movies, let's meet up, let's do this. And then I would have great turnouts. I was like, okay, so clearly people are receptive to my messages. I posted something on Facebook back in August of 2018. Yeah. And it was just for simple, like women coming together that I feel like women need a community type thing. My now best friend, we were just friends back then, and now my business partner, she was like, oh my God, Mickaela, I love it. So then her and I sat down. I went ahead and did the whole process of the LLC and getting tax exempt and the whole nine. And it literally just started off with me bringing women together. But then it started being me bringing women together with the message, me bringing people together with the message and a host, me having ladies just come out and be together. You know what I'm saying? Where we're not out and about, where we're not catty, where we're not talking about each other, just literally come together and love each other. And then we actually had something called Mommy's Mimosas. And that was an amazing turnout. It was our very first event back in May. And we had over 50 people. We weren't expecting that many. We had over 50 people. And that's when me and her looked at each other and she was like, oh, it's happening. And I said, oh, yes, it is. and then that's when we officially became a 501c3 June 20th of last year.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
Coming up on your 1-year anniversary.
Yes. And then we do Feeding the Homeless. So we have a partnership with Grace Point here, which is a rehabilitation mental clinic, a drug rehab clinic as well. So we partner with the transitional housing to feed them every year. And this year we've had a couple great sponsorships like Popeyes, things like that. But we love to see the change in people. I love to see women come to me. Like one woman from the Mommies and Mimosas, she came to me and she's like, because of you speaking, I started my own online boutique and it's successful. And I was like, yes. So it's like those success stories I live for, I love. And of course, due to COVID, things were a little slower this year, but I use that as my more planning time. And we even have women from different states wanting to have their own little Woman on Fire branch. So that's ultimately the next step. Then we're looking for some funding to get our building now. We're really trying to find a building where we can just have the ladies come. Right now, I do everything out of my home office, or we meet up at different locations. But the goal right now is to get the building. And then from there, just get annual grants where companies are willing to do like a 3-year contract where each year, they give. So then I could solely focus on that because that is, my purpose and my passion. And the results are amazing. And the results for me are just seeing people change their lives.
Right. But then you said during COVID, you haven't really done much, but I saw where
Right.
you all provided some lunch to children
Oh,
recently.
thank you. Yeah, that's me. That's my heart. The kids always have my heart. So yes, I am an inner city woman. I love to be in it. I love to be in the mix because that's the people who need us the most.
Right.
So I actually bought a house in the inner city, a brand new build for that exact reason. But I partnered with the Rich Center, and due to COVID, and I know struggling moms, we all been there. It is a-okay. And they relied on the schools to provide the free lunch. And that's not happening anymore. The kids weren't in school. So I did a quick on a humbug. I just got a couple people in a group chat. I messaged and I was like, hey, I need donations right now. I'm going to buy these kids pizza, snacks, juice, the whole nine, and I'm going. I ended up partnering with Tampa Police Department here for their little resource center. And we set up outside and we gave out pizza, juice, drinks, candy, snacks. I talked to them. I got some football games when school opens back up. I got invited to, with the
Oh,
older kids. Yeah, yeah. So that was really, really important to me. So yeah, we did feed the kids due to COVID, and now we're just trying to ramp back up. We used to do mommies and mimosas in May. Because of this, it's passed. So we're either probably going to do it end of this year. The only thing is, every end of the year is our feeding the homeless, and we do adopt a family for Christmas. So we're trying to figure out how that's going to look now in life. I want to do like a big Christmas party, but we shall see how things go. But yes, I'm always looking to give back. So it's important to me. And it honestly, most of it comes out of me and she's the VP, our pockets, but we don't care because we know it's going to come back tenfold and the purpose is very fruitful.
and my prayer is that you all get aligned with some grants that could
Yes.
really,
Yes. I just got connected with, I think, it's one of the, I don't know what station she's on, but she's a very successful Black woman and she's a news anchor here. So she actually wants to be on one of my lives and she is willing to talk a little bit more. So I'm hoping she can start getting me connected and the doors will start opening for the funding.
So, as far as speaking, are you doing much speaking as a burn survivor?
So yes, I do speaking engagements. People invite me to, like, if there's ever women's conferences and like for me to talk. Yes. Tampa General Hospital, where's got my treatment this year, but of course COVID. They actually have a summer camp for kids, burn survivor kids. And they asked me to speak because they said when it comes from them, it's different. Like when you hear a nurse say, "Oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be great." And it's a child that has his whole face burnt off. They're looking at you like, "Ma'am, can you please get out of my face? I want my mom and I'm not listening to you." They asked me to be a spokesperson for the summer camp just to show them that, hey, you can have a normal life still. She went and had a baby. She bought a house. She runs an organization. Like nothing stopped her and nothing can stop you. So once they figure out when they're going to redo the camp, that is where I'll be speaking about being a burn survivor for sure.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's nothing like hearing it from someone who has actually walked in those shoes,
Exactly.
you know? So, as we wrap up, lastly, I just want to touch on this. So, you are a biracial mom with sons, and over the past few weeks, the world has literally been on fire due to George
Yes.
Floyd's death.
Right up the street. A couple gas stations were on fire over here.
And seeming how you have come through the fire, you have healed, and you are in the process of really rebuilding your life and building this very strong women's empowerment group. And, as a woman, as a mom, how would you say moms, especially moms of color, need to journey through these times of racial injustice?
Whew, you gave me chills. It's tough for me. I'm not going to lie. My sons are 4 and 5. But I literally, so people used to think I was crazy when I would always say, like, hey, I want my kids to go to a predominantly Black or Hispanic school. Like, that's what I am. That's what I want. No, they need diversity. And I said, no, it's something on me. Like, I need them. No, no, not my kids. Like, they have a different purpose. And it wasn't from a racist standpoint. It was more so from exactly the standpoint that we feel right now, I was planning for years ago. And people thought I was crazy. But for me, before this even happened, I do morning affirmations with my sons every day. It will not stop. When I tell you I speak life into those boys as if they are grown 30-year-old men, I speak life into them. Every morning they know. I say, what are you? I'm a king. What else? I'm strong. What else? I protect my mom. What else? And I have them just keep going. I can do anything I put my mind to. I make sure that that happens for them every single day, nonstop. My son, it was crazy. That you even bring this up the other day, there was a commercial on Disney Junior, but it kept, because of the racial injustice, it kept replaying the same thing over and over again. He's learning how to read, he doesn't know what it said, but it was basically saying, no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter, things like that. He said, Mommy, why they keep playing that? And I said, well, Poppy, because there are some people who just don't like you because you're brown, because you're different. And he goes, but I like my differences. And that's exactly when I knew that I was doing something right. 5-year-old little boy. He said, Mommy, but I like my differences and I like being brown. I said, and I love that you're brown too, baby. It's so tough, but I feel like colored mothers, brown mothers, Black mothers, Indian mothers, anything, stand tall in what you believe in. And yes, your son or daughter may be 2 right now, but when they're 10 or 11, they're not cute anymore. They're dangerous to them. So prepare yourself now for those conversations in the most kid-friendly way you can, and constantly speak life into these children, because guess what? When they get outside your doors, there's someone telling them the complete opposite. So I feel like that is the most, as of right now in my life, with the age that they are, that is what I'm doing to make sure that they are good and they're strong. I try not to talk about police too much. I try to make them think that they're good people who are going to help them, because I hope one day police can help them, but I try to stay away from that. I try to do it more so internally. What they see, what they hear in their own home is very important. Young moms out there, if you're, no offense, but if your boyfriend, your baby daddy, whoever isn't living the lifestyle that you want your son to have, separate now. Separate completely now, because your sons and daughters don't deserve that, because a lot of times we are literally breeding another generation of the generation they didn't like to begin with. So at some point, we're going to have to catch up with them and switch up the tempo and show them that, my son is a lawyer. My son is a doctor. My son actually is your coworker. My son is the chief captain of your police center. Please do not. So it's just making sure now is the time, as crazy as it may seem. Now is the time to start making a future for your sons and daughters and whatever it is that they may be, because I like to believe it. We're going to take over the world one day. It may take some time, but we're going to take over. And moms need to make sure that we're standing tall. And yes, you want your kids to be free, but sometimes they don't need to be free right now. For those moms with teenagers and sons, no. Bring them back in a little bit more. Sit down, talk more, pour into your kids more, because then they won't be looking for attention from the world. They have all of it from their mom already.
That's very encouraging. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
I appreciate that. So one of the quotes that I pulled off of your site was, and I don't know if it's yours or someone else's, but it just caught my attention. Some women are lost in the fire and some women are built from it. And we can tell from this interview that
that's me.
That is totally you.
Yes.
And so I am just so grateful for how God just strengthened you and helped you to endure that physical fire, because you are definitely a powerhouse.
Thank you.
And you were definitely called to spark the fire in other women. Like you said, your mission is light the fire your heart desires. And that passion it's exuding through your voice. I'm watching you on Zoom. It's exuding through your body language.
Yes.
Comes through with your smile. And so I'm just grateful that you endured, that you stood strong, that you stood in your faith.
Yes.
And that you passed that test. And here you are now. And so thank you for being on the Mom Still Standing podcast.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Mean this, that you are the mom that's still standing.
Yes, thank you. I'm
many of us would have just rolled over and been like, just take me now. I don't want to have to do it.
Right. Nope, that can't happen.
But in the midst of all of that trauma, you still stand.
Yes,
You know, you
ma'am.
still stood, and that's commendable. So thank you for that. So can you share again how people can get more information about Women on Fire, share your social media and all that?
Yes. So my social media platform is at its Mickaela Gonzalez. So Mickaela Gonzalez. That is my personal Instagram that you can reach me at and follow me. And then you can always go online to www.womanonfireinc.com and then also follow us on social media at Woman on Fire Inc. _ Any events you guys have, anything you need help with, we're always available to help any of you guys. It's a small team of us, it's 4 of us, but anytime you guys need anything, always reach out, no matter what state you're in, country, don't hesitate.
Right. And her home base is Tampa, Florida, but you're probably going to see little pockets of Women on Fire popping up in other cities and states.
Yes,
So stay
absolutely.
tuned. She has some other stuff that's brewing too. I won't let it out, but y'all just stay tuned to her social media platforms for that information. And before we go, I just want to remind people of the importance of fire safety and educating your family and especially your children about fire safety. I did some reading up on grease fires, and they're actually the most common type of fire in the home. And they're responsible for 1 in 5 home fire deaths. So they're very common. And in my reading, it was like the worst thing you can do is try to extinguish it with water. and
And
but
I
that's
didn't. Thank God. I didn't do the water. I
okay.
knew I knew the water was a no, but
Okay.
definitely the fire safety is really important. And I recommend anyone also, if any of you guys, if any parents have children or have been in a similar situation, please reach out to your local school district and encourage them to make sure that they're having the firefighters come and speak to your children as well. Sometimes seeing the ones who are supposed to take the fire out can help the children as well.
And what child doesn't love to see a fire truck?
Exactly.
So thank you so much. Thank you. Women, remember to light the fire your heart desires.
Yes.
See you next time on the next episode of the Mom Still Standing podcast. Peace. Thank you, moms, for tuning into this week's episode of the Mom Still Standing podcast. Make sure you head over to iTunes and subscribe. If you found this episode to be informative and encouraging, please write a review so that we can continue to empower moms everywhere. In the meantime, remember, connected moms don't mom alone.